Hi, this is Sonia with Artsy Solutions, and today I want to show you how I'm making some of these Bohemian embellishments. And I'm using the kits, I'm using multiple kits from Betsy of Museful Creations, and she has like a whole lot of different digitals on her Ko-Fi, and I'm using some of the, I didn't use the nostalgic mail labels, but I have used the Bohemian floral birds, well no, the Bohemian florals, but not the birds, but some of these other little things. And I'll have a link in the description of how you can find her Ko-Fi. And so I made just different ones, and some of them have, like, at the top they have like ribbon and tabs and different things like that. And I primarily wanted to show you how I made these to give these shiny looks. I used some glossy accents on them, and then I just kind of idled them up and just made some little clusters out of the little things that I made. So here we have some different ones. And now this one has a tab in it, so or I mean a brad, so you could detach this and add it onto something. You could, anything, a journal page, you could even turn it into a hidden paper clip. Like some of these you can turn into a paper clip. You can add these on the jewelry. Then I used some ribbon crimps on here, and then as you can see, the little shiny button on there. And then this one I just added a ribbon crimp on here, and then the bowl pin, and just a little old bead. And then you can see the butterfly that's on there. And then here's one more, and then this one just has like a little bead on there, really cute. And I just added some little small words that I found. So basically all you're going to be needing are just your cute little embellishments that you can fussy cut out, and then just some scrap paper, some fabrics, and what do you call this, cheesecloth, little mini embellishments like flowers, some type of hardware or something like that if you want to use it, and maybe some ribbon. So that's basically all you need. And well, to get the shiny glossy accents kind of look, you're going to need, obviously, well, the shiny look, you're going to need some glossy accents and any kind of a pen, like a ballpoint pen. So let me go ahead and show you. Here's also some of the other things that I've made. I've made quite a few things in here. I did a lot of fussy cutting and all that stuff like that because I'm getting ready to get started on a Bohemian journal. But yeah, let me just go ahead and show you how I made these. Okay, so to get started, you're going to need your ballpoint pen, and you're just going to trace around the edge of one of your images. And you can use ballpoint, posca, or whichever kind of pen you want. And then I'm just going to come in through with some of my glossy accents, and it's helpful to have like a some kind of pin or something to hold it down so it doesn't get stuck to anything. So this is what they're going to look like after they dry, and they dry for, it's going to take at least a good probably 3 to 4 hours just to make sure it cures right, and it's going to have like a little shiny finish to it. And then after that, you can go ahead and get started on your assembly. So here I've just got like bits and pieces of different types of fabric, like some muslin, cheesecloth, doily, and stuff like that. And I'm just piecing some together along with some scrap paper and other types of embellishments and stuff like that, trying to see what looks good with it and what doesn't. And I'm auditioning the pieces together. And then once I'm satisfied with it, I'm just going to glue them together. And then on some of them, I'm just going to take my crocodile, and I'm going to punch a hole and then add an eyelet to it. And so here I am, I added the eyelet, and then now I'm just going to add like a little bead using a bowl pin. And so I'm just going to continue on and just add some scrap papers, fabric, doily, and then one of the other, here's the little butterfly. It's got the little shiny stuff on there. And I think it looks really cute together like that. And I'm just trying to find some words and things like that to add to each little cluster. So I'm just putting that one on there. And it's good to have different size words depending on how big your clusters and things like that are, because you don't want your word to overpower your cluster if it's too big. So you want to have one small enough that it doesn't take away from the core of what you're making. And so now I'm adding some of this bead ribbon, bead crimp stuff, just from the jewelry findings. And you're going to need some type of, I guess, needle nose pliers. I'm not sure what the terminology is because I don't really do jewelry like that. So anyway, I'm just putting this on, and I'm just going to crimp it on there using that tool right there. See how it just squares it together, and it leaves like a hole where you can add a pin or something like that, which is what I just did. I just added a bowl pin and a bead and then garnished it like that. So here I am just adding another, I made another cluster, and I added another one of those little one of those ribbon crimps, and then I'm just decorating it, adding some a little flower and another one of the little shiny buttons that I created. And I'm just auditioning some of those little words to see if they look right, because you want to make sure your color, well, you don't have to, but I'm weird, I like to have my colors to kind of match, depending on what I'm making, you know. So here I'm just taking some scrap papers and just, once again, some scrap paper, fabric, and I usually alternate between paper and fabric just to kind of, to me, it gives the layers a good balance. So I'm just kind of seeing what it's going to look like. So sometimes I'll take a piece of paper, I'll put it together, and then I'll take it apart and then add something else in there if I feel like it's missing something. So I just added like some cheesecloth doily and some tags and stuff. So I'm using a combination of some of those little the mini embellishments that I made with the Glossy Accents, along with some of the fussy cut other embellishments from Betsy's kits. And like I said, she's got several different kits on there. Very, very cute. But whenever I create stuff, I like to go ahead and fussy cut out a lot of embellishments so I can have things to choose from that's within that same color scheme or theme or whatever I'm making. So basically here I am just still creating other little clusters and stuff using different sized embellishments that I just made. So I'm trying to use this big one, but the big one didn't look right on that one in particular, so I went back down to a small one. So here I'm just going to add like a little tab on there. So like I said, it's good to have tabs, fabrics, embellishments, maybe some beads and jewelry findings and different things like that, brads, eyelets, different things, ribbon, all kinds of different things that you can use when you're assembling your stuff. So, and then we have like a little ticket. Now that ticket's not from her, it's I think it was from Happy Meal that I had gotten years ago from somebody. And so I'm just going to add an eyelet on that little tab, and yeah, I just added an eyelet there. And I'm just going to, I think on that one off camera I added the ribbon because I was trying to find something that looked right in my stash, but some of the jewelry pieces that I had, or beads and things like that, they were too big and it kind of overpowered the cluster, so I didn't use them. So instead I did something else. So on this one, yeah, I'm just sorting through trying to find different things. I decided to use one of her tags from her Bohemian kit, and I'm auditioning once again some of the different embellishments, the little butterflies and different shapes and different colors to see if they match, because I like to have contrasting colors on my stuff. So if I have a blue, then I want to have a beige or a, you know, something contrasting so it's not like all the exact same color. And then I do the same thing with my fabrics and stuff like that. So I'm trying to figure out the placement of where I want that little small tag and then where I want that cheesecloth. So, and then once I found my placement, I decided to just hold up everything in place and then glue it together. That way I wouldn't forget how I had it situated on there. So I'm almost done with that one, and I think I'm just going to finish it off with a little old flower, a little mini floral embellishment. and it's good to have some of those nearby. You could have some floral embellishments, maybe some little stickers, or you could use stickles and liquid pearls, just different things like that, depending on how quickly you want to make your clusters, and if you don't want to have a lot of dry time, things like that. So, and then I'm just putting I put a brad in this one this time instead of a tab. Instead of an eyelet. So we got our little mini brad, and I think that's that last one. So here we go. This is all of the things that I made. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and check out my other videos, blog, and social media sites. And as always, I thank you guys so much for watching.